everybody, it's Ep4. Let's talk about it. This is Queen Sugar, Season 4, Episode 4. Keep the colors in the line, bitch. So I'm not gonna give y'all a whole blow by blow because I'm already late, right? So I'm gonna give you just my thoughts on the episode about what happened on different scenes, and we'll just go over each storyline, all right? So let's go ahead and get into it. This week was really like a setup episode for the rest of the season, so not a whole lot happened. They kind of set us up for the rest of the season, what the drama is gonna be and the conflicts that have to get resolved or whatever. So just an overview. Nova spent most of the episode on the outs with her whole family. She's trying to reach everybody throughout this whole episode, and nobody wants to talk to her. She goes up to the diner. They tell her they got home baby girl come out there. What's her name? Sweetheart Roxanne. What's her name? Rochelle. I don't know what her name is, but home girl come out here and be like, girl, listen, Auntie Vi don't want to talk to you, girl. She don't want to talk to you. She don't want to see you. And she like, well, tell them I said, girl. As soon as I said Nova said, they walking out the room. They don't want to hear what you got to say, girl. She ain't ready. Stop bringing your ass up here. Go home and think about what you did, okay? So Nova getting put out from everywhere. Ralph Angel not answering the phone. Charlie not answering the phone. The only person that's really talking to her is Micah, and that's how we start off the episode with her talking to Micah. They kind of connect. I'm kind of glad that she has Micah to talk to because, like I said in the episode before, Nova is wrong, right? She's wrong what she did. She absolutely should pay the price for it. No, I don't feel sorry for her at this time. But do I feel like she should be kicked out of her family forever? No, I also don't feel like she should be kicked out of her family forever. I feel like they're going to have to come some kind of way to resolve this because I believe in family, and that's your family. I'm sorry. I just feel like you only have one family, so it might be a fucked up family, but it's your family. And so, like, they need to try to get past this. I know that it's going to be difficult, but I don't want her to be on the outs forever is what I'm trying to say. So I'm glad that she does have a lifeline because I don't want her to do nothing to hurt herself, So she talks to Micah about her book signing that's coming up and how the family ain't coming. She says all she can do is just let them know how important they are to her and how much they mean to her, how much she loves them. And eventually she thinks that this will pass. She thinks this will pass. So we're going to see. I don't know because I don't know how they're going to redeem her. Charlie had a lot going on this episode, okay? So the first part is the clinic. So Charlie and Romero have opened up this very nice clinic in her old apartment at the sugar mill in the back. And although I think that this is a great idea, this is and they said it was a designated safe space. If somebody knows what that means, does that mean they have legal paperwork where they can do this and ICE not gonna bust up in the building and arrest everybody, or she not gonna get in trouble for this? Because I feel like they're leading us toward this line where either she gonna try to sabotage Jacob's run for the city council, or she gonna run for city council and it's gonna come back and bite her in her ass. Okay, so although I think this is a great, this is a great thing to do for the community. So she's in the clinic. Michael comes over to the clinic and she has to introduce him to Romero. Now she don't tell him that she date Romero. She just say they working together, for the project or whatever. And he thinks that's dope because Michael, he like the rage against the system. So he think it's cool, but I wonder how cool he think it's gonna be once he figured out his mama and Romero is bumping uglies. Okay. While he's there, she tells him that they found out who this person who was writing these letters are. And basically, it's an old man in the basement. I kind of don't like how they just kind of threw that storyline away, but I guess they got a lot going on, so they can't really invest in every single storyline. Or maybe it's she lying to him and it's something else. I don't know, but she tells him the police have him, and she tells him not everybody could have made it through this. I'm so proud of you, and it was nice to see them not arguing and not getting along, and he thanks her, for helping him through the situation. We also see Vicky. It's Vicky, right? I like Vicky. I fucks with Vicky the long way, okay? Vicky came to her and told her that the Landrys are trying to build a highway. Basically, what they did was they lied about all this shit on the board meeting, okay? On these reports they sent her, it's inaccurate. They done misfiled the permits on purpose, and they're about to put everything into Jacob Boudreaux running for office, right? So that city council will not oppose a new highway that comes directly through St. Joe, basically gutting her land and a lot of the farmers' land, and even use some of the Landry's land, okay? So obviously the Landry's don't care because they're rich, but if this guts through Ralph Angel's land, he's done. That's the wrap for him, okay? So, and the rest of the black farmers, that's it for them. So now Charlie is pissed off, and the only reason they want Jacob to run is because people don't really know. I mean, he related to the Landrys, but he's not like a part of their thing. So like their corruption and their stuff, he don't have no, he don't have no bad history, no criminal record, no corruption, nothing that people could oppose and associate with the Landrys. So that's why they want him. But I really want Jacob to realize that you're getting used, sir. Like, you're getting used, and when they don't need you no more, Jacob, they're gonna toss your ass to the wayside. So I I want Jacob to get a goddamn backbone, but that ain't gonna happen. She has found all of this stuff out. Now she gotta do something about it. She goes to Barrera and she's talking to her, and then Barrera was like, yeah, it was a tough decision to step down. You sell out ass bitch, really? She like, help me, stop, let's do this together. Let's take these people down. And she like, no, girls, I ain't doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm tired, I'm old, I was gonna retire anyway, sis. And it's just too much. Like, I ain't got time for all of that. We not about to battle these people. We ain't gonna win. It's a brick wall. I ain't doing it. So she said, you know what? She gonna go and sell out to the man and gonna retire. So now we ain't got nobody, there's nobody running against him yet. After that, we see her go to Francis. And when she's coming to Francis, she get a text from Davis. He tells her that he has a surprise for Micah. So can he come over? And she like, fine, whatever, whatever. She goes to talk to Francis, pasty, dry-lifted, still magnolia looking ass bitch, okay? Basically says that the notes y'all giving me from these meetings are a farce.
Oh, it must have been a clerical, it must have been a clerical miscalculation. I'm sure it could be.
No, you hit a whole proposal for a whole damn highway, girl. I see you. I know your tea, bitch. Don't try me.
Why do you take everything so personally? I mean, you're a shareholder, so this will benefit you as well. I mean, we're losing land too. Land is the only thing that God is not making more of. So it's a blood sport, and you know it.
Bitch, I read that book. Okay? You not one of them. 40 years ago,
you would have been blessed to be able to clean toilets in here, and you just walked across this yard like you were on the whole thing.
That's a trick of the enemy. I'm telling y'all right there. What a racist do out the gate is try to make you feel like it's a privilege for you to be standing right there where they are. They may try to make you feel like you less than in a conversation before the shit even begin. Like, I'm gonna start it off by saying, you need to be happy you in here. But we all know that Charlie is not the one. That's exactly why I'm not gonna let my people get treated like trash in these black farmers. She tells you, and what she said was life for me, okay? Because she says, you think my sister's sentimental drizzle gives you insight into who I am or the things that I've done? Girl, you don't even know the half. When she said, you don't even know the half, I was like, yeah. She gave me a little Whitley on there. But let me fill you in, sis. You're right. I conquered Hollywood and I conquered the basketball league or the NBA or whatever. And you wouldn't last one day in Hollywood or each one. So if I conquer both of them, what you gonna think I'm gonna do with Jacob when he run for office? Oh yeah, sis, I know about that too. I was like, so this is what I have to say about that whole scene. It's interesting to me in the book that Nova says that Charlie uses her light skin for, as a weapon and as a sword. But in my mind, Charlie, if you look at Charlie, the person, okay, not just the light skin, okay, if you look at the person, you will know that she's a hard worker. So yes, her skin and her, hair texture might have gotten her in the room. Okay, it might have given her a little bit of advantage, but we all know that Charlie puts in work. And so for me, that was disrespectful to say to your sister, period. Second of all, in this show, they have never made it a point to let us know that Nova, Ralph Angel, or anybody else came to visit Charlie in California. It's always clear to us that Charlie and her family always came down there to see the family. They didn't come up there to see her. So Nova, you wasn't in the room with her. You don't know what the fuck she was doing. You don't know anything. You're just making all these general assumptions. Number 3. If anybody know anything about basketball groupies, any kind of groupies for that matter, some of them, might be just, preyed upon by these men. But some of them hoes want to get pregnant. They waiting outside the locker room. They want to have a baby. They want the drama. They with the shits. They want it all. They want to fight people. They want to do all of that. Okay, so all that degradation of black bodies bullshit she be talking about, I cannot. Last point. If Charlie uses her light skin, her hair texture for anything else, for any kind of weapon or sword, she's using that weapon and that sword to help Nova, her family, and all the rest of the black farmers in St. Joe. Okay, because anytime Charlie steps into an arena with white people in St. Joe, they have no problem letting her know that she's a nigga. Okay, period. Period. When she went to that meeting last year with all the sugar mill people, they made it a point to tell her the wrong time. So when she got there, the meeting was over. Now, when she stepped to Francis, the first thing she said to her is 40 years ago, you would have been blessed to clean toilets in here. So it's not like Charlie's not reminded of her blackness everywhere, every time she go try to handle business, or she just walking around in a light-skinned cloud. It's not. So the things that Nova said about her, which we'll talk about later with Darla, is her perception of who Charlie is. Okay, from the outside looking in. I'm not saying that Charlie has faced hardships, and there is a privilege in being brighter, lighter, and having softer, curlier, and straighter hair. It is. But what I'm telling you is that she's using that privilege to help her people. She ain't using it just to help herself. Now, she has used it to help herself in the past, but since she been in St. Joe, she ain't did shit but helping her people. And I wouldn't be mad at Charlie if she said, fuck y'all, I'm going back to California. Okay? I ain't got time for this shit no more. Okay? Because every time I try to help you, all y'all do is hate on me. And that's her own sister, child. So, that's my little sidebar. That scene just highlighted to me how much they go out of their way to make Charlie feel like she out of place, or to be racist towards her, and to remind her that you're black and you don't belong in this space, okay? You black and you blessed and you privileged, and you better be glad you can even get in this space or whatever. And she got to fight so much just to be on par, just to be equal. And when she works, surpasses them like 10 times. You know what I'm saying? They just shady as fucking riding off of politics. So, and then Nova to turn around and bash her in the book and talking about she was degrading black. Girl, shut up. Vi spends most of this episode in PTSD mode. Jimmy Dale must have beat the dog out of her. You understand me? Because she accidentally thought she heard him talking in the diner in the morning, but when she really looked, it was Prosper that was talking about his wife's cooking. Side note, that was so sad. He looked like he was finna cry when he said he missed her. Like, I had got a little lump in my throat when he was like, all right, y'all, I'm about to go. I was like, oh, he missed his wife. That man is a really good actor. So Prosper it wasn't Jimmy, but she was like literally about to have a heart attack. Like, that's how bad that man beat her. He got her tripping like that. I mean, woo, child, I couldn't imagine. So the whole episode, she's spinning like a PTSD mode, and you're just wondering, like, what's going to happen to her? Is she going to break down? Like, I'm so worried about her health and her lupus. And Hollywood is being the loving, caring husband that he always is. And so what happens is, well, we'll leave that story for right now, and we'll come back to it, and we're going to tie it in, okay? So let's go ahead and talk about Nova. Nova finds out that she has now gotten a 6-week book tour off of this great, fabulous New York Times review she's gotten for the book. So it's another episode of her like being so happy about her career, but then like her family life is just, she's really torn her family to shreds with this whole book. And so she's excited about it. And like I said, she spends a lot of the episode calling people, telling them, I'm leaving in a couple of days. Can you call me back? Please call me back. And nobody's calling her back to get in touch with her. She has her book reading, her book signing. And so at the book signing, Chantel shows up, and we see Nova reads a story from the book that was not in the manuscript. And so this story is about when her daddy took her fishing, and they ran into some 2 white men. She said she didn't understand it then, but now she realizes they was catcalling her, and her dad went into the store happy. He came out sad. Apparently they was telling him all the things that they were going to do to her, and so he was upset. He had a busted lip. I'm sure he probably tried to hit one of them or say something to him or something. It was 2 of them and 1 of him. So he got punched. She said after that, I saw him in the middle of the night. I guess she used to walk around in the middle of the night and around the fields and stuff, and she saw him out there digging a hole and putting 2 things in the ground. She don't know what it was. She didn't ask. And after that, her daddy never took her fishing again, and her connection to the land was broken. So I'm just sitting in my house like, so you gonna continue to tell your family business? Now, don't get me wrong, ain't nothing gonna happen. I mean, if they come and find her, what they gonna do? I mean, it's no statute of limitations on murder, y'all know that, right? But the man dead. So if he kills somebody, I mean, it's not like he can go to jail for it, or anybody can go to jail for it. But that's another reason I don't know how they work with land and murders and government. That ain't gonna look good. You know what I'm saying? So why are you bringing this up again, girl? Like, you bringing out more shit. I'm just like, girl. After the book signing is over, Chantel comes up to her and tells her congratulations. Chantel says she's working on herself. Chantel have an aggravating spirit to me. It's something about her that get on my nerves. that irk me. Like, I like the person, Reagan Gomez. I like her. But the character that she plays is kind of like annoying to me because she was playing with Nova. I mean, you gonna bend over and kiss the girl in your mouth and then tell her, well, if you want to talk or you want to do anything else, you know, and maybe next time you kissing her all in her mouth. But then when she call you, you talking about, I'm working on myself and it's always on your terms. Now, she did say you can come over. But then when Nova called her, she was like, well, do you want to come over? And then she was like, well, you want everything on your terms. And I told you that I'm working on myself. Now, do you want to talk? Well, bitch, you act like you ain't want to talk earlier, girl. So which one is it, sis? Anyway, that whole thing was stupid to me. Like, they could have kept that. At the end of the whole thing, Michael goes back home and he's talking to Charlie. And Charlie is just like, you can talk to me about what happened. Like, it's serious, but like, it ain't like we can't ever speak her name again. And he tells her about the story that Nova told. And Charlie had never heard this story. So she goes back to Vi. Her and Ralph Angel, they all go back to Vi. And Vi knows what the story is. She said, all I know was he couldn't take his eyes off of Nova. And then he was worried all the time. And then one day he wasn't worried no more. I ain't asked no questions, bitch, and I didn't want to know. Because some shit you don't need to know. Okay, she said some dark corners don't need light, and I agree. Some things you just need to just be quiet, girl. Why you telling every doggone thing? Like, leave some stuff alone. So at the end of the episode, we see that Vi finally has a moment where she breaks down. She goes into the bathroom. She runs some bath water for herself. And, you know, Hollywood's trying to ask her if she's okay. She's saying she all right. She's going to take a bath. But she kind of breaks down and have a moment where she kind of just lets it all flow. And she's crying into a blanket or a towel. But Hollywood hears her, but he can't really do anything about it. Well, it's not that he can't do nothing about it. He gets up like he will. But then he's kind of like, let her just have her moment where she kind of cries. So I'm worried for her. I'm worried for her health. I'm worried that, you know, this is not really going to affect her. It has affected her emotionally to where she can't even, like, enjoy her time with her husband. She's so worried about Jimmy Dale or so just, like, preoccupied. Like, that PTSD is real, and I want her to talk about it and get some help and deal with it. But y'all see what they trying to do with this whole book, and I'm going to talk about that at the end too, baby. Okay? You out of line, y'all. I see what y'all trying to do. We see it. Speaking of, let's talk about Ralph Angel. So Ralph Angel has decided to start his Ernest Mortallon restoring or reentry program. I think that's what it's called. And so he's talking to all the people outside about the program and how, you know, it's good hard work and it's gonna be long hours. And the man asked him if it was steady paying. He's like, well, you know, if you wanted to work in the office, you know, you could have did that, but we out here and I'm doing the best I can to make sure that y'all not the part of the percentage that go back to jail. So he offers them pie. Everything's great. And they go in and fill out the paperwork. And so later on, we see Benny and Benny is on a tractor with Blue, you know, messing around with the tractor. And after Blue goes inside, Benny asks him, you know, has what he heard is true. So basically, I guess it's getting around town about, you know, him not being Blue's father. And, you know, Ralph Angel's like, well, what you heard? And he was like, well, you know, I'm not trying to disrespect you or anything, but I just want to tell you that, you know, my biological father never did anything for me, like how he stepped up, how you stepped up and been Blue's father. Basically saying, like, my real dad didn't do as much for me as you do for Blue, and you're not his real dad. And so he was saying, you know, I'm proud to work for a man who's handling his business. And so Ralph Angel just kind of said, you know, thank you, and he went on about his business. So you see how they trying to do with the book, trying to make it look like, bitch, I don't care. Okay, I don't care, because didn't nobody ask you to do this, girl. Didn't nobody ask you to do it. It is nice to see how Ralph Angel has changed from the first season to this season. It's really interesting to see his metamorphosis as a character, because he started off really angry at everybody else in the world and taking everything else out of everything else and keeping himself, you know, almost locked in the box. So it was nice for him to get some growth, and he's even grown through all these horrible things that, you know, he's going through, which some of them were his fault. Okay, so like, we're not gonna give him no pass, because Ralph acted a damn fool, okay, in the first season. And like half of the second season, he was getting on my nerves. He was acting a fool back and forth with Darla and all those different things. So, you know, it's glad to see him change to become like a good man and a better man. That's why I hope this whole highway thing don't happen, because that's gonna gut through his land, and that's just gonna, you know, it's gonna ruin his life. It's gonna put him back at square one. So we gonna hope that storyline get worked out. Okay, maybe Charlie can handle that one. Let's talk about Darla and Nova. So Darla reads part of the book, and she goes over to confront Nova, and she's very upset. Obviously, this is her turn. It was nice to see Darla stand up for herself. Now, I know I have given Darla a lot of flack in the past. I do realize she had a disease, and, you know, but I did like the fact that she kept up with the lie after she had, you know, she was in recovery and things were happening for her that she wouldn't tell the truth. She continued on with the lie, accepted the proposal, continued on with the lie. And so, that's why. But I can say that Darla is really she's really trying to be a better person, learn from her mistakes, and do better. And all these things that's happening to her now, this ain't her fault. You know what I'm saying? Nova is responsible for all of this. So she rushes over there. She confronts Nova. She basically says what we've been saying, y'all, for these past 4 weeks. Like, what the hell, girl? You up here telling people business that's not even yours to tell. And Nova tells her, well, I hid your name. I hid your identity. So, no one will be able to know who you are. And she like, girl, anybody with half a brain who live here gonna know it's me. Like, you wasn't thinking about the fact that my son is gonna have to read this about his mother one day. Like, I didn't want that out. And it's crazy. She called her a thief. She said, you stole my memories. Basically saying, you only write it in your book what your perception is of what happened, or your experience is of what happened. And then putting all your socio-political, like your sister said, psycho-babble, dribble, okay, on top of it, without even knowing, like, you have no part of that experience was yours. Like, that's crazy for you to write about that and then don't even ask for permission. So Darla tell her, do not ever come around her, do not ever come around Blue ever again. And she left. So I don't know, and then she said something like, you lower than I ever was. And I was like, Darla, now you doing a lie, girl, now. I don't know about that, sis, but I get it. Okay, now you acting like your parents. You out of line, Nova. You wrong, and you deserve that tongue lashing, that stern tongue lashing, because that's all she wasn't gonna do or whatever. Even when she was yelling and her whole body was shaking, she looked like if you just pinched her, she just fall over. Okay, poor thing. Okay, Brianna, she looks so frail and little. I just want to eat her biscuits and some red beans and rice. My God, she ain't eat no crawfish when she down in Louisiana. Lord, y'all fix her plate. Later on in the episode, we get Charlie and Micah are home, and Davis decides to pull up with the surprise that he had for Micah early in the episode. Come to find out, it's not a new car. It's not some new sneakers, a cell phone. It's a whole human ass being. He done showed up with a whole person talking about surprise. Micah, I want you to meet your sister. And Charlie is like, what? Like, the look on her face was priceless. So basically he's there. He's like, this is your sister, and they make a little small talk. Charlie had almost got smart. You know what I mean? Micah looked at her like, when she was like, you've shared enough. Micah was like, damn, okay. All right, Tia. That's my older sister's name. Her name is Tia, too. All right, Tia, girl, let's go get some cookies. Okay, all right, Tia. So him and Tia going off into the other room. And she basically tells him, listen, I'm not about to be no surrogate mother to this child. I'm not about to do this. So I don't know what your announcement is, but I'm not about to be whatever you think you want me to be for this child. So basically his announcement is he's retiring from the NBA and he's going to be coach of Bayou State. That's what it is. And so he going to basically be back in town is what he's saying. Because you remember he left and went back to LA to raise that girl. So now, like I said, the girl mama dead. So now he coming back. And so he's trying to backdoor his way into her being this little girl mama. Okay, and that's what she's saying. This is your responsibility. You lived this life for 13 years. You laid with her mama. You did all of that shit. So you know what? This is your responsibility. I'm not about to play mama with this little girl. She is welcome to come over here anytime. And I personally don't see nothing wrong with that. I do feel like if your man have an outside baby, and you decide to be back with him, then you need to go and accept the baby, because you accepted him back then. Accept the baby ain't asked to be here, okay? Accept the baby too. But she ain't back with that nigga. So I ain't got to accept your child. I ain't got to accept nothing. Like she said, she welcome to come over here, and I will treat her with the absolute kindness, because she is innocent. She did not ask to be here. You are correct. So she should absolutely get to know her brother, and they should absolutely, be able to spend time together in my home. You are correct. But I am not about to be no mama to this little girl. Now, my personal opinion is that her and the girl gonna get close because they have the experience of being the outside child. Now Charlie was, now we know now that she wasn't a child of a love affair. They were actually separated, but still she had the experience of being the outside child coming into somebody else's already family, okay? So I think that her and the little girl probably will find a connection in that way. So Charlie talking all that big shit, but at the end of the day, I do think she's gonna end up being an important person in this girl's life. But Davis and her ain't never getting back together, ever. Okay, that door is closed. The door is closed, honey. So Darla and Ralph Angel have a moment after the whole situation went down, with Nova and everything. She kind of break down. She's a mess. And he just hugs her because he was in that same place, 2 weeks ago and processing everything that she said about him. And so I like that it was non-sexual moment. It was kind of just a moment for them to be there for each other, him to just be a good man and just be there for a friend. You know what I mean? That went through something with him. The reason people talking about they're going to get back together, I don't think they're going to get back together, because the reason all of this is coming out and it's so hurtful is because of all the things that him and her did. He went to jail and had his child, other people raising his child. Now they're so attached almost, you know, and want like, I love her, but she be lording over Blue. You know what I'm saying? Like, she his mama, but I understand why. So, you know what I mean? Like, he created that problem by going to prison. She got on drugs. She disengaged. You know, they both was a part of this problem. And all these things are happening because of the things that happened in their relationship that went wrong. I don't think that's why they will be able to get back together. It's a point where they'll be able to be friends and, you know, reconcile and be happy with the fact that, you know, they was in love and all of that shit and it's over. But getting back together, I don't know, not at this point. Like I said, maybe at the end of the series, they maybe, you know what I'm saying, but not like at this moment, I don't think. Nova leaves. She gets her bag together. She tries to call everybody once again. Nobody answers the phone, voicemails, you know, so forth and so on. And she gets her little bag, child, and she just leaves. She just looks so sad. I'm like, man, I hope Nova don't like do nothing to herself or whatever. I haven't seen the preview. Have y'all seen the preview? I'm trying to find out what's gonna happen next week, okay? But yeah, she just gets her stuff and leaves. I don't know. That's kind of I don't know. Overall, I thought it was a pretty good episode this week. If I missed anything, y'all let me know in the comments. I'm sorry this is late. Once again, I went to the Essence Festival and I saw some people and I took a lot of pictures. I had a good time with my homegirls. I ain't run into that many famous people, okay? I saw Dineva, you know, a couple of people, but I didn't get pictures with them. But I'll put some of the pictures at the end of this video if you want to see them. I want y'all to have a blessed week. Like I said, let me know what you thought about the video or the episode last week. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video with all your friends, and I will holler at y'all next time.